be right, right? We have 40,000 different denominations, and that's because we have so many interpretations / translations of the Bible, so they can't all be right. There's contradictions that are very blatantly show us that the Bible is not a univocal text. It is written from different people from different perspectives and different understandings of what they were writing. It's not like a cohesive text. So yeah, there are a lot of contradictions in the Bible, yes. One of them is how Judas died is a very obvious one that people point out because there's no possible way that that isn't a contradiction. And the second contradiction is the Bible saying that you could never see God's face, and then people like Jacob saw God's face, and he said specifically, I saw God's face and I didn't perish or I lived or something like that. And then there's a Bible verse that says you can never see God's face and live. So they're like direct contradictions. The only way that they aren't contradictions is if you do a crazy amount of mental gymnastics to convince yourself that it doesn't mean what it actually says. So a lot of people who say the Bible doesn't contradict itself ever. They ignore what the Bible actually says and make up what they want it to say. Oops. What's the context to those verses? I mean, you can go read them to yourself. There's no context that changes what those two verses say. Do I like living in the U.S.? Yeah, for the most part. Thank you. The only reason you would think it's not listening to an apologetics type person, which they are also doing a crazy amount of mental gymnastics. Here's a thing, and I've said this before.